So if you clicked on this video, you're probably interested in making more money. You might be on your journey to financial freedom. Well, I've been on the same journey since I was 18 years old. After many years of failing, I became a self-made millionaire at the age of 26. Then shortly after, I became a multi-millionaire while still being in my 20s. And through this journey, I've learned a lot of lessons about money and life in general that I wish someone had told me when I was younger. So in this video, I want to share these lessons with you. So lesson number one is you want to start with the end goal in mind. So you really should be asking yourself, what kind of life do you want to live if money wasn't an issue? Because I've met a lot of people who pursue high-paying careers like medicine or being a lawyer, not because they're passionate about that field, but because it made a lot of money. But when they actually become a doctor, as an example, they hate their life. They're miserable because they're working 12-hour days, they're drowning in debt, and yes, they do make money, but they have no time to enjoy it. And they can't even leave because they have this sunk cost fallacy of, oh, I've already put in so many years, so much money in achieving this job, I can't leave now. You see this in entrepreneurship too. People start businesses just because it makes money, completely disregarding the lifestyle that the business will give you. A great example of this in business is a social media marketing agency. A lot of people teach this business model as a good way to make money online. However, what people don't realize is that even if you do make money from it, you're going to be constantly dealing with clients complaining, constant meetings, constant sales calls, and a whole bunch of headaches. Literally every single person I know who has some sort of SMMA agencies, they hate their lives. They told me that they hate their life. And they use the money that they make from their agencies to start a new business that allows them more freedom. But why not just start with that business instead of going through the whole business that you don't even enjoy? So that is why I say you should start with the goal in mind. So what I mean by this is you should go after a career or a business that gets you the lifestyle that you want, not just the money. For example, if your goal is to have complete location freedom, being able to travel anywhere you want, working from anywhere in the world, then you probably don't want a physical location type of business like, pest control, mowing lawns, or trash pickup, or whatever business that requires you to be at that location. This could be real estate investing too. Same as if you want time freedom and choose to work or not work anytime you want, then you probably don't want a business that requires you to have a bunch of clients and do a lot of meetings because you're not going to have any time freedom. So for me, my ideal lifestyle has always been complete freedom. So not just financial freedom, but also location and time freedom as well. So that is exactly why I chose an online digital product-based business, because all you need is a laptop and a Wi-Fi. You're not dealing with a physical location. You don't need physical products, and you're not even dealing with any clients, right? So everything is all operated online, and I can literally travel anywhere in the world and work anywhere, and even choose not to work if I don't feel like it. Even right now, I'm filming this video from Bali, Indonesia. So I'm not saying that in the beginning, if you're broke and you're trying to make money, you can be picky in how you can make money, because that's not the case, right? If you're broke, you better be doing whatever you can, whatever opportunity that comes to you for you to make money. But the point is, eventually, you want to start aligning the lifestyle that you want to live with the business or a career that you're building. So lesson number two is that everything is connected. So I'm a firm believer that if one door closes, another door will open. And for every single path that you take, as long as you're learning from it, it'll help you with the next path. So as an example, when I was 18 years old, I was recruited into a multi-level marketing company. Multi-level marketing sucked. I struggled for 4 years, barely made any money, and I think it's not a good business model. But the point is, while I was in that business, I was told to read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Inside the book, it talked about how sales is a great career because unlike other jobs or other careers where you have to wait years just to get a couple cents or a couple dollars raise, you can make a lot more money just by selling a lot more. So sales is a more performance-based career. So that's exactly what I started doing. So reading that book led me to try out a bunch of sales jobs. And one of the sales jobs that I took was a door-to-door sales job. And this absolutely sucked as well, right? I barely made any money working 6 days a week, 12-hour days. However, in my resume, I was able to put I worked in door-to-door sales. Now, a year later, I was recruited into another sales job, but this time it had a really good base pay plus a high commission that I was able to make around $50,000 a year, which was a great salary for me at age 21. But the reason why they recruited me, even though all my coworkers were in their 40s, 50s, sometimes even 30s, they were much older than me. And I was like the only kid there at age 20, 21. The reason why they decided to hire me is because they saw in my resume that I worked a door-to-door job. And the recruiter basically said that if you can sell door-to-door, you can sell anything. And that is why I got this job. Now, working this job allowed me to save a decent chunk of money that I was able to invest into starting a new business, which became a success. And eventually, I was able to grow that business to earn over 7 figures. And I started teaching that on YouTube, and now I made more money from it. So everything is literally connected, and that's what I mean. So you may feel like what you're doing right now is a waste of time, but try and focus on what you're learning from the experience, what skills you can acquire. So as long as you're focused on improving your skills, it'll lead to more opportunities. Lesson number 3 is instead of wishing for things to be easier, just be better. So when I was between 18 to 20 years old, I used to listen to a lot of Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was this OG personal development guru that, had a lot of seminars on YouTube. And a lot of the gurus nowadays that you hear like Tony Robbins, I believe they all learned from Jim Rohn. And he often said that you get paid according to how valuable you are to the marketplace. So if you work at McDonald's flipping burgers, you get paid very little because that is a skill that literally everyone with an arm can do. But if you're a heart surgeon, you get paid a lot more because that is something that very few people in the world can do. So how much you get paid is based on how valuable your skill sets are to the marketplace. So when people complain that, that person makes more money than me, it's not fair. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's because they can do something that you cannot. And that is the same as business. If you're just doing something that literally everyone else is doing, then you're not going to make a lot of money. So instead of wishing things were easier, just be better. Learn as much as you can, improve your skill set as much as you can, become as valuable as you can to the marketplace, and the money will follow. You will get paid more. So that's exactly what I've done since I was 18. I grew up in Japan. English is my second language. I was absolutely horrible at communicating. As someone who had extreme social anxiety all my life, I barely spoke. I had horrible social skills and once again, horrible communication skills, barely spoke English. Despite that, I started working sales jobs. I did door-to-door sales, literally working 6 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Once again, I read as many books as I can on communication skills, sales. When I was doing door-to-door sales, I literally made about $12,000 in the whole year, which I was able to get away with it because I was still living with my parents. But the whole time I was doing this, I kept reminding myself that I'm here to improve. I'm here to work on my skills, not to make money. I didn't try to focus on money because the money was terrible. I just tried to focus on, am I getting better? Am I getting better at talking? Am I getting better at selling? And I just focused on improving my skills because I knew that one day, if I get good enough, the money will follow. I'll get paid according to my worth. So learn as much as you can, read the books, watch the videos, take courses, listen to podcasts, whatever you want to do, just focus on improving your skills. Lesson number 4 is implement as fast as possible. So now that you understand the importance of learning, here's another trap that you might encounter. And that is that you learn and you learn and you learn, but you never take action. So when I was younger and trying to start my business, I read all the books, I bought a bunch of courses, I watched all the videos. And every single time I do so, I get this little high in my brain thinking that I'm progressing. I'm feeling good because I've learned something today. And I must be progressing, right? Because I'm spending literally hours learning. Well, guess what? Despite the hours of learning every single day, I wasn't making any more money. Why is that? Because I never took action. I was so scared of taking action. I was so scared of implementing because I kept thinking that what if I fail, right? And that fear paralyzed me. So I kept going back to reading more books, taking more courses, watching more videos because that was comfortable. You didn't have to risk anything. I'm just here learning. I feel good because I think I'm learning and progressing, even though I'm not making any money. And I just kept going back to that because I feared taking action. And most people do the exact same thing. They consume content all day long and they get this false dopamine hit that, they think they're progressing once again because they're learning. But here's a reality check for you. If you don't take action, you will never make money. No matter how much videos you watch, no matter how many books you read, no matter how much courses you take, you will never make money. You're literally just wasting time. You have to implement as you go. So whenever you read a book, you learn something, you go and test it out. You take a course, you learn something, you go and test it, right? So you have to always implement. Yes, I get that in the beginning, you gotta learn, but you have to switch to taking action as fast as possible. So that is the core issue here, is that people don't take action because they fear failure. And they fear failure because they view it as a bad thing. But what you gotta understand is that every single successful person will tell you that failure is a good thing because it is a learning experience. You will learn what works and what doesn't, and you can use that information to move towards success faster. So the faster you fail, the faster you will get to success. Because success is past the failure. It's not on the other side. A lot of people think Success is on this side, failure is on this side. And if you fail, you get closer to failure. And if you succeed, you get closer to success. That is not the case. Success is past the failure and you're here. So you have to fail first to get to success. So what does that mean? You want to fail as fast as possible because that is how you succeed as fast as possible. So you should be happy if you fail because once again, success is past the failure. So you have to rewire your thought patterns, right? View failure as a good thing because once you do, you won't be afraid of taking action. All right, lesson number 5 is consistency beats everything else. So over the years, I've seen countless people succeed and countless people fail in this business. And if there's one thing, one trait that I can pinpoint, that is that successful people are way more consistent than unsuccessful people. They show up every single day. So the people who are not successful is like this. They love talking about how they're going to make money. They love telling you their ideas on how they're going to make money. They love masterminding and networking and discussing ideas, but they never take action. It's literally just talk. They love talking about it. They love talking about how they're going to do this, what they're going to do, but they never take action. Even if they do, they usually quit after a month or two if they don't see the results. They get discouraged very, very fast. They seek instant gratification. They think that results got to come within the first month or it's a failure. And once again, they don't take action because they fear failure, because they see it as a bad thing. The successful people are way more consistent. They just show up every day and put in the work. They're okay with waiting for the results to come much longer. Usually in businesses, you have to go all in for at least 1 year to see any kind of results, right? So they understand that they have a longer delayed gratification period and they can just stick to showing up every single day, taking action without seeing results for a much longer time. Lesson number 6, people dumber than you are making millions. So as I became more successful, my circle grew and I started meeting a lot of other millionaires and multi-millionaires as well. So I know a lot of those people, a lot of successful people, as well as I started meeting people who I literally used to look up to, people who I used to watch on YouTube. I started meeting them in person. So I can tell you from experience that they're not geniuses, they're not business gods, and they're not even smarter than you, okay? They're just normal people just like you and me. In fact, I've met a lot of pretty dumb people still making millions. Why is that? Well, it's because they believe that they can do it and they took action. They never feared failure. So I'm not trying to talk crap of anyone in particular, right? But just to make a point here, a lot of them, once again, are not that smart. But because they lack the self-awareness to know that they're not even smart, they think they're smart. And because they think they're smart, they take action because they believe that they can make it happen. And they end up succeeding because if you take enough action, you will be successful. Funny how that works, right? So it all comes down to belief. And that is why I say that you have to believe that you can. And you can. I believe in you and I know that you can make it happen. And that's another thing is you want to stop idolizing people, right? Don't think that other people who are more successful is somehow different, somehow they're smarter than you, and that you cannot do the same thing that they're doing, right? You can. They're not any different, and I'm not any different as well. Lesson number 7 is don't associate failures or successes with self-worth. A lot of people think that just because they make less money or less successful than somebody else, they are somehow less as a person. And I've seen the opposite to be true as well. A lot of people think that they're better than someone just because they're more financially successful. So money is important, but you got to understand that is just one aspect of life. I'm not saying money is not important. That is a lie. Money is very, very important and you should definitely pursue it, but that's not the only thing in life. Just because you failed financially so far doesn't mean that you're any less than everybody else. Just because you are financially successful doesn't mean that you're better than everybody else. I've always believed since I was small that everyone is equal, right? I'm not better than anyone, but I'm not less than anyone. So everyone's the same, everyone's equal. And this kind of goes back to not putting other people on a pedestal as well. So I can tell you from meeting a lot of these successful people that, a lot of these gurus that you might be looking up to, their marriage might be crumbling, they might be in horrible health, or they're generally unhappy. I'm not saying every single one of them are like that, but there are quite a bit of people like that. So financial success and success in life is not the same. You should be striving for financial success, but also in health, relationships, and in your mental health too. So lesson 8 is to take risks. Again, a lot of people fear taking action because they put so much importance on money. They're so scared of losing it that they never take any risks. And for a very long time, I was the same too. I was so scared of spending a couple $1,000s on a course or, in coaching that I try to figure everything out on my own for free. And because of this, my progress in business was significantly slower than somebody else, my peers who weren't afraid of spending money to get that higher education, to buy that course or mentorship, to learn a skill that can propel them higher in their business, right? So I've seen a lot of people who took much higher risk and grew their business significantly to the point where they make up all the money that they invested and so much more. And I'm over here stuck in my business not making much because I was so scared of losing my money that I didn't take any risks. So I struggled with this for a long time, maybe because I'm half Asian. I grew up in Japan, so I have this Asian conservative mindset. I don't know. But the moment I let go of this, let go of this attachment to money, and I started taking more risks and I started investing more money into coaching, mentorship, and also just into my business and trying out new things, my business just exploded. So it's funny how that works, right? The moment you let go of the attachment to the money, I made a lot more. Especially if you're watching this and you're in your 20s, you literally have so much time. Like you could fail for 10 years straight and you could still be young as hell, right? In your 30s. Even if you're in your 40s, that's still young as hell. And there's no way that if you take consistent action and take some risks in your business for 10 years straight, there's no way you're not gonna succeed. Lesson number 9 is you don't get to have options if you're broke. I see so many people who are broke, who are complaining about not having enough money. And yet when I tell them how to make money, they're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't like selling and I'm not passionate about this. It's like one of those people who complain about, not being able to find any job when there's like literally 100 jobs that they can immediately get. But it's just that, they're overqualified or they're not passionate about it or whatever stupid reason. And that's why they don't want to take that job. So look, guys, you cannot be complaining about being broke, but reject every single offer of making money. The harsh reality is you don't get to choose how you make money if you're broke. That's the privilege of wealthy people. If you're wealthy, sure, go ahead and be more picky about how you want to make money. You have the right because you're already there. But if you're broke, you're complaining about not having money, you better be taking every single chance that you get to make money, or you have no right to complain. When I was broke, around 20 years old, I rented a tiny apartment in Hawaii with 6 roommates to share the living room, kitchen, bathroom, those kind of places. I rode around my $50 bicycle or took the city bus to get to work and back. I literally never ate out, ate the same thing every single day, and I worked every single day for years with zero social life. While everybody else was throwing parties on their 21st birthday, my 21st birthday consisted of me waking up at 6 a.m., taking the city bus to my dentist, which took 2 hours one way because my dentist was far as hell for whatever reason. And then I came back, I started work, and then I finished work at 9:30, came back, and I slept. That was my 21st birthday. I worked every single day. I worked on every holiday. I worked on Christmas. I worked on my birthday. Never celebrated anything. Never went back to see my family, even though they were like an hour flight away. And I did that for years. Yes, that period sucks, but I was broke. And when you're broke, you don't get to choose. You don't have options. You got to do what you got to do. But now that I have a lot more money, I get to have a lot more options. Now I get to choose what I want to do every single day. And I'm still in my 20s, thanks to that period, the years that I spent working towards, achieving this. So those were the biggest lessons and takeaways that I've learned over the years. If you like these videos and you want more, then let me know in the comments. Let me know what was your biggest takeaway in this video and let me know if you agree with what I said as well. Now, if you want to work with me and my team directly and have us help you build a profitable Amazon business, which is the exact business that completely transformed my life, that took me from broke to making over $1 million from this exact business, then the link is below this video. And with that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.